Hi, this is Ashley, and this is a brief tutorial on how to create a database, a schema, and some tables in PostgreSQL or PostgreSAdmin 3. This is the version specifically I'm going to be using is the 9.4 version, and you can see to the left of the screen are the instructions. So let's get started. First, you need to open up your PostgreSQL. And by doing that you can hit the little plus sign, and now we need to look at some of these. We need to create a database first, so you can just right click on that and then select new database, and then type right here in this box the name of your database. We're just going to call this really simple. It's going to be people, and that's all you have to do. Just hit OK, and as it processes it will create a new database for you. And once we open that up, we'll be able to create a new schema. So right down here we can see that we just created a database called people. So if we click on that, now we can open that up by clicking the plus sign, go down here to schemas, and right click on the schema and select new schema. So now in this schema here we simply can name it what the instructions say to the left, people. So all we're going to do is hit OK, and now you can see that we have a schema here called people. So if we hit the plus sign again, you can see that we don't have any tables listed because the number right here says 0. So if you just right click on people or on your schema, you can go to new object and then go down here to new table. This is where things get a little more complicated, not too much at all. So first we're going to identify this table as, let's see, we'll call it friends, like it says in the directions, friends. And now you're going to go over to columns, because in Postgres columns are equivalent to tables in language. So you select columns and then you select add, and now you type in the name of the table or the column, and remember that everything is case sensitive, so be wise when you choose that. I'm guessing that a person's ID will be a number, so we're going to say that this is integer, and then you simply hit enter or OK, and that'll list it as one of the columns in the table. And now you want to hit add, because we are still not done. We have multiple things to do here. So you type in first name, and this will obviously be a text. So you just type text and then hit OK or enter. Now we're going to add another one. It's going to be the last name, and you're going to say text and hit enter. And now we're going to do the phone, so I'm guessing that's the phone number, and we're going to say that that's an integer and hit enter. And then you're going to add another one, another column, and it's going to be the first address, address 1, and that's going to be text. And then you just save that. Do the exact same thing for address 2. And then also you're going to do city. So city, part of the address, and you're going to hit text for the data type and hit OK. And now we're going to add another one, because you got to have a state to your address, and that's also going to be a text. And for the final column that we're going to create, it's going to be the zip code to this address, and the zip code is obviously a number, so it's going to be integer, and just hit enter. Now for every table it's really smart to have primary keys, so I know the instructions don't necessarily say that we have to have one, but let's just go ahead and show how you can create a product or a primary key. So you just click constraints up here in the tabs, and notice down here it has selected for you primary key in this box. You just want to go ahead and click add, and now you can title this, let's just call it primary key friends, because that's the name of our table. And then you go over here and go to columns, and that's where you can just select the specific primary key out of the different columns that you created. So for this one, we're just gonna choose one primary key. We're gonna call it the person ID, and then you just go over here and hit add, and then hit OK. And now that you've done your properties, you've also been in the columns tab, and now we've been in the constraint tab. We've covered all of our bases. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And so now when you go over to the table, again, you can click the table and see that it's there, obviously, in our database. And now also, if you go to schema, or I'm sorry, yes, if you go to all of our information should be listed here. So that's simply how you do a database, or create a database, create a schema, and create many different things as well. So if we go to our table here and click on friends, we can go all the way up here to this blue box and see what our table looks like. And so now that we've pulled that up, we can see that it has listed all of our different categories here. We have person ID, first name, last name, phone, address 1, 2, city, state, and zip, and all of them are identified how they should be. And now is where you can just enter in data if you want to enter in data to add to this table. And now if we move that box out of the way, you can see over here that in the properties section that it identifies our primary key as being person ID. And now you have successfully completed your database schema and table creation. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for listening.